We talk about mindful eating, and you guys have me lead you through mindful eating all the time. There's also intuitive eating, and when I was very young, a very new clinician, about 20 years ago, I talked about conscious eating versus unconscious eating. And I just want to lead you through a mindful eating session in case you want a reminder of how to do that, and just talk about eating in general and food in general. So remember, when you get ready to have a lovely meal like I'm going to have here, it's important to take a moment to just close your eyes, take a deep breath, let your body relax and those shoulders relax, and notice the rise of your belly and the fall of your belly on the out-breath. And as you've been sitting here for a minute or so, begin to notice your physical hunger. Might be from 0 to 10. Remember, you try not to get hungrier than a 3. And 3 is I'm really, really hungry. 4 is I'm pretty hungry. 5 is I'm a little hungry. 6 is I'm close to full. 7, I'm full. And 10 is, this is after Thanksgiving, I way overindulged. This is really uncomfortable. So you want to eat to about a 7. But besides noticing your physical hunger, I like you to notice your emotional hunger or your heart hunger. So you can kind of begin to separate those as you eat. That's why it's so important to eat at a table, or if you're in your car, to go park somewhere, get a lovely view to look at, turn on the radio, but try to be fully engaged with your food. Notice I don't have a screen in front of me, and I'm just going to pay attention to my food. Might be in conversation with my dog or my husband, or just listening to a book on tape or something like that. So as I do that, I want to think about my heart hunger, and maybe my heart's hungry for, maybe I'm eating by myself and I kind of wish I had a companion. Maybe I'm looking for peace. Maybe I'd like fun or adventure. Just notice that. Now, you don't have to do anything about what your heart is hungry for, but just notice what it is. A lot of times people will find when they start to eat, they're feeling anxious, and it's because they're just too hungry. That's hard to go slow and eat mindfully then. But it just takes a few minutes for your brain to register that calories are coming in and you're going to be okay. So what should you eat? Remember, you should eat whatever sounds good to you at the time. If that is, onion rings, a pastry, chicken, vegetables, and rice, whatever it is that you want to eat, and that there are no good foods or bad foods. Remember, food is, we talk about this, that when you think about the bread here, or the vegetables here, what are they made of? This broccoli, what causes it to go from being a seed to being a broccoli? And remember, as the plant grows, it brings into itself water, gets energy from the sunlight, and minerals from the soil. So broccoli is essentially water, sunlight, and dirt. And then if I had some chicken in here, what did the chicken eat? The chicken ate seeds from a plant. So chicken is comprised of sunlight, water, and soil. If you eat fish or beef, whatever it is you're eating, bread, it's all just water, sunlight, and soil. And it's interesting to think of food that way because we talk about wasting food. But if I don't want all this sandwich and I don't want it later and I throw it out, it's going to become soil again. And it's just going to go back into earth. So you can't really waste food contrary to what you were told. And of course, we used to tell my mother when we were little, when she said that there were starving children in whatever country it was, we'd say, well, let's box this up and send this to them, shall we? But she didn't think that was a good idea. So you just want to give it back to nature. Some people feel really uncomfortable if they're eating and they don't want to, they want to keep it. The sandwich tastes really good, but I have half a sandwich left. So we encourage you to save it, put it away, because the good news is you'll get hungry again. Or sometimes just wait 10 minutes, push it aside, do something else, and then see if you still want that leftover food or not. And food should be timed release. A meal is timed release. And what that means is you've got a protein, a carbohydrate, and a fat typically. Remember, carbohydrates go through your system very, very quickly. They're really important. That's what we need as a basis of our intake. and carbohydrates will be gone in at half an hour to an hour and a half. That's why people say, well, I had toast, but I'm hungry at 10 a.m. Well, of course you're hungry. You didn't have anything else with it. So then protein takes about 2.5 to 3.5 hours to digest. So if I have this meal at 12 o'clock, at about 1:30, the bread's going to be gone and the salad's going to be gone, all the energy from that. And then I'll get the protein out of the bread, protein out of the vegetables. Yes, there's protein in vegetables. The protein out of the chicken, and that's going to be gone in about 2.5 to 3.5 hours. And then what's going to keep me going is I've got some fat in this chicken salad, and I've got some fat in my salmon and fat in the nuts here, and that is going to keep me going for up to about 5 hours. So about dinner time, I'm going to be ready to eat again. So it's important that that's when you're trying to think about what to eat. It's not the what you eat as much as the how, as the how and the why. The what is simply just making sure you have a meal. So the how to eat is mindfully, with intention. Going and taking a bite of food, spilling some on your lap, putting your fork down, and just chewing it. And then making a decision if I like that or not. And I actually like that. I have a little cheese in it. It was good, a little crunchy. It has some nuts in it that are delicious. So I decided I like that salad. I want to keep eating it. And I have my sandwich, okay? My salad, this is how I'm not eating. I'm not eating like this. I don't know what I just ate. Not even aware of it. So when you're out at a restaurant, notice how people around you are eating. That's typically what you're going to see is mindless eating, and the meal's gone in 5 minutes. So when you really take your time and eat mindfully, it's going to take 20 to 30 minutes to eat. And then your brain has a chance to tell you, hey, I'm full. Because if it took you 5 or 10 minutes to eat, your brain doesn't even know it's full yet. And some of you have lost your satiety signal. You don't know in your hunger signal. You don't know when you're hungry, and you don't know when you're full. And that's why the dietitian can help you kind of get some beginning meals started. But if nothing else, you can just kind of use your fist, not to punch yourself, but rather to tell yourself, that's about how much food that I need. Probably half a sandwich and some of the salad would be enough, as you're trying to figure it out, because it does take a while. So eat with intention. Decide if you like what you're eating. The only problem with conscious eating is sometimes there's a lot of stuff that just doesn't taste as good as we thought it was going to be. What looks good to our eyes is not necessarily that delicious. There's an exercise we do where we take foods that aren't very good that look good, like prepackaged cupcakes versus a homemade cupcake, and people try these foods, and when they taste them, they don't know what they are. They think, oh, this tastes awful. And so that is the disappointing part of conscious eating, is sometimes food isn't as good as you were hoping. But the other thing is, it would be really sad if I missed this meal. It would be sad for me if I was eating quickly, because my brain wouldn't know that I ate. It wouldn't know that I ate something that was enjoyable, that was I could really relish. We've done the raisin exercise in here. If you haven't done the raisin exercise, on YouTube there's all kinds of mindful eating raisin exercises. Give it a try, and you'd be surprised at how good things are, sometimes just by themselves. So remember, no good foods, no bad foods. You can't waste food. It's just water, sunlight, and soil. And bon appetit.